Newcastle United are the first Seller Cup winners after an emphatic 4-0 victory over Villarreal. What a top performance. But who is Eddie Howe going to have in his starting 11 against Aston Villa in 6 days' time? Some real key positions up for discussion. Who would you have in some of those key positions? It's coming up. Welcome back, it's Eddie here from Tyneside Live. Today we'll play Villarreal in this Seller Cup weekend before we start playing for real next Saturday against Aston Villa. Eddie Howe clearly has a lot of selection dilemmas. We've got almost a full squad, barring 2 or 3 injuries to Fabian Shaw, Sean Longstaff and Joe Willock. I am expecting a completely different starting 11 today than we had yesterday. We're almost getting to the point where we have 2 11s which are almost as good as each other. I'm going to do a video early next week based on my opinion. I'm going to analyse and who I think Eddie Howe might select as his starting 11 against Aston Villa. I should say that clearly we now have a squad of talented players that are interchangeable, that are versatile, that can play all over the pitch more or less, and that's probably what's going to happen during the season with a squad rotation system. With injuries and suspensions we can chop and change around, but I think for the next game or two at the beginning of this season, I think Eddie Howe is going to have to start narrowing down and making some real tough decisions in 2 or 3 key areas, including up front and centre forward between Wilson and Isak, even though I think Isak probably plays best on the left in my opinion. But you've also got Harvey Barnes and Anthony Gordon up on the left as well. You've got Joelinton and Elliot Anderson kind of battling for that left hand of the central of the centre midfield area. Lots of things going on the pitch as well. You've got Miggy as well, Jacob Murphy, Tonali clearly is going to be in the right, Bruno in the middle, but you've also got Lewis Miley, who's had an excellent pre-season in the centre of midfield, and if you had to go on current form, I think you'd have to put Miley ahead of Bruno. Clearly that's not going to happen. I think Bruno will be all right on the day. But also as well, you've got Alex Murphy, who's been filling in for Shaw. He played at left back against Chelsea in Atlanta, had a comfortable game. He was really good, but also yesterday he played in centre half position. Cool, competent, confident, like the look at him. He's fast, he brings the ball out, very similar to Shaw actually. So we've got these young players who are chomping at the bit. Ben Parkinson come on at centre forwards, all sorts of things going on. But I'm doing a video early next week to have a look a bit more in depth. So yeah,
I think especially in the midfield, I think it's quite shown that previously in the past season that we're going to play more of a 4-3-3 formation. I think you've got Bruno and Tonali. I think they're both quite technical on the ball. I think Tonali especially is quite athletic on the ball. I think off the ball as well. In terms of his pressing, I think that he can also get the ball back in terms of defence as well. I think Bruno's more the technical player that can pick passes in the final third and try and get a few assists and goals here and there. But I think in terms of Elliot Anderson and Joelinton, I'd say give Joelinton the start, but I think throughout the next few seasons especially, I think that Elliot Anderson's going to be a very important player. As shown throughout the pre-season, he can score goals, he can definitely pick positions, especially in the final third, and I think that he presses a lot, and I think it's similar to what Joelinton does as well, but I think it also gives a bit more versatility because you've seen that Joelinton can play out on the left wing, he can play centre mid, and I think Elliot Anderson as well. I think you could even see him playing out on the left as well, as a centre mid as well, as a number 8. But I think also maybe you'd see perhaps playing as more of a centre forward as well, because I think that he could definitely match up with Isak and Wilson to try and get that position as well. So I think he's quite versatile.
So I think I would choose Anderson because he's young, and throughout these past pre-seasons he's been top class. I don't actually know how many goals he's scored. I think it's 3, but still he's been top class for his age at the minute, and he's just an outstanding midfielder.
I have never seen a queue this long before a game outside the Newcastle United store. Snakes right around onto the pavement. Fans from all over the country and all over the world desperately want to get inside that store to buy a shirt, to buy some merchandise, to be part of Newcastle United in this movement. It's unbelievable, man. Brilliant.
Yeah, so my name's Simon, I'm from Newcastle. It's actually our first time at a football match for Newcastle, so we're just in the queue just to see, get a scarf and a top before we head in.
Hello, I'm Victoria. I live in Cramlington, but I'm from Hexham.
I'm Casey and I live in South Shields and I'm from South Shields.
The starting lineup next week, I think the defence is going to be the key here, because today's defence I'm not too happy with. So I'm going Botman, Shea, and I think maybe it's Target. But he'll not start the Tunali, I don't think, because I don't think he's quite strong enough yet.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he'll start Tonali. I think maybe his Barnes will start. Depends what he's like today. And Gordon's on fire at the minute. Aye.
Is that it?
My name's Shane, I'm from South Shields, and I reckon Joelinton, because he was crucial last season. And Ali Anderson's obviously like breaking his way through with pre-season. Obviously he's been good, but I feel like he'll just rotate the team until he finds the better one out of the two. But I think for now Joelinton definitely has to make the starting 11.
Hello, my name is Jaden and I'm from Benwood, and I think Callum Wilson, Dan Burn and Matt Target is going to start.
If you'd like to see more videos like this and be notified the moment I release the next one, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Jaden Murphy has hit a corker into the top right hand corner. Villarreal. Wilson's just had a goal disallowed there for offside, but Jacob Murphy's having a really good start. He just tried the Johan Cruyff flick on the edge of the box and got fouled. Really impressive. 25 minutes in, still 1-0. And our biggest threat again is coming from Jacob Murphy. Just a couple of minutes ago he went on this brilliant run down the right hand side, just overran it. 20 minutes in, Joelinton got himself in just a completely unnecessary booking. Really quite a niggly match actually, a lot of fouls. Bruno for me hasn't really come into the match, it's quite tight. 1-0. Another goal disallowed there, but it was a foul on the keeper. Another chance goes begging. Good work by Harvey Barnes on the left, come to nothing, but it's a really scrappy, feisty match. Sean Longstaff's picked up a booking. Matt Ritchie just now has picked up a booking. I can see somebody getting sent off, and this is real quite niggly. There's no real flow to the game, but we do look the most threatening when we do attack. Half-time, Newcastle 1, Villarreal 0. I think we just about deserved that. Special mention, I have to say, it goes to Paul Dummett. He's been really tidy, really safe, plays easy balls. Top performance by Paul Dummett. Just about to kick off for the second half. We got through the whole of half-time there without a single tear being shed by Helen. So far. Paul Dummett's just been booked now. A nice interchange of passes with Villarreal. They've got a free kick right on the edge of the box. How we got away with that, I've got no idea. Lascelles chasing the ball back. All he had to do was play it back to Nick Pope. Dilly-dallied for a split second, got dispossessed, and a Villarreal player was clean through and just skimmed on the outside of the post. That was terrible defending. Villarreal really should be level now. Some incisive passing, they were clean through again, but a superb stop by Nick Pope with a leg stretch there. Went for a corner, and from the corner they fluffed the lines again. Villarreal, they should have knocked the ball in the back of the net from the corner, so we're hanging on a little bit at the minute. What a noise! First goal for Harvey Barnes. Great work by Callum Wilson. He laid it off for Barnes. Tucked it in the bottom corner. 2-0 to Newcastle. Barnes really starting to come into it now. Burst down the wing there and got brought down. Fun fact for you, just noticed in our team we've got out of a team full of Englishmen, we've got 2 Brazilians. Bruno, brilliant, well taken goal by Joelinton there. Curled into the side net and off the goal. Oh, cracking. Just while there's a break in play, a quick mention for Harvey Barnes. He's really grew into the second half, though. Jacob Murphy for the first half. Second half for me, Harvey Barnes, yeah, he's looking really, really talented, liking what I'm seeing. And I hate to say it unless I've got funny glasses on. Bruno for me is playing well under par. Again, he hasn't really been in the game. There's been a few errors as well. 3-0 up. 5 seconds later, Callum Wilson through on the right. Serves it straight across for Harvey Barnes to tuck it into the bottom corner for his second goal. 4-0. That's it. Newcastle 4, Villarreal 0. Newcastle United win the first Cellar Cup presented by Visit Malta. Top performance. takes all round down there now. Man of the match for me. Oh, I think that's going to Harvey Barnes for those 2 goals. Brilliant second half performance. Yeah, a lot of talking points from that. Who would you choose, Harvey Barnes or Anthony Gordon? For me, against Aston Villa, I'd have to go for Harvey Barnes. Well, that's it for another video. Hope you liked it. Give us a thumbs up if you did. Lots of selection headaches for Eddie Howe in 6 days' time when we take on Aston Villa. Until then, catch you later.